reggelt kívánok! A nemzetközi színvonal az, amit Julie is itt ma képvisel nekünk. Őt említettem már a hírlevelemben, hogy Sir John Whitmore ajánlotta.
We are focused on this subject of coaching within business. So this is my kind of specialist field, if you like. We work with large organisations both in Europe and further afield. We work with this subject. You know, this question, how do we get managers to stop telling people what to do and to start asking the questions and getting people to think for themselves? This is a question that is becoming more important. So what I've seen over these 15 years is I've seen this topic get real traction, get real emphasis for organisations. Coaching is a conversation, and coaching, it influences people's thoughts, learning and behaviour. So coaching has been around for thousands of years because these are conversational skills. The principle that I would encourage you to work from is, as coaches, stay within conversations that you're comfortable with. So if you're comfortable talking about how people are feeling and opening into difficult issues, then you're probably skilled, you're probably equipped to do that. We give advice easily, don't we? Sometimes advice is useless. We all get that. You know, we give advice and we know it's not being listened to and we see it's not being listened to. That's not coaching. What defines a coaching conversation is the impact it has on the other person. So the best person to judge, has this been a coaching conversation, is not the coach or the person thinking they're coaching, it's the person who's had the conversation. You can't coach knowledge. Strangely, you can coach experience. So you can coach experience by asking questions like, okay, if you do that, what do you imagine will happen? Or how will they react? For a manager's professional development becomes absolutely key to their ability to run teams, to manage the performance of other people, because this is increasingly recognised as this way of growing results. Coaching within the role of a busy manager is not tea and sympathy, does not have to be tea and sympathy. It can support people over time and it should support people personally over time. But it can be a really quick intervention, a really quick conversation that's being had. What distinguishes a coaching conversation? So one of these important ideas that coaches and managers need to understand, managers especially, is how do you influence during a conversation? As a manager or a coach, do you influence by telling? Are you giving instruction? So when you are directed, when somebody is directed by you, that's because you are telling them what to do. And this is an old model of management. And this is the model of management that's dying out. I recognise that I am most powerful as a manager by creating results through people, and I can create more results through people by having them learn and develop and think for themselves. When I'm directive, I encourage people to be dependent on me, so they start to rely on me for answers. Coaching is not determined by the style in which you do it, in your voice or your language that you use. One of these misinterpretations of what coaching is, it's not cuddly, it's not soft. It can be the most challenging conversation people have. The least directive you can be in a conversation is to use silence. I don't know how confident people are at using silence, but as a coach, the coaches in the room will know. Along this spectrum, there are different behaviours that are more or less directive or less directive.